What is going on, people? Welcome to the first video of its kind that I'm doing, and it is a lyrical breakdown of Point of View 4. I was meant to be recording a podcast today, but people let me down. Love to the people that I've been trying to get on the podcast, but people have been massively inconsistent. I want to get something out to kind of replace that long form kind of content. I don't know how long this video is going to be. It could be 15 minutes, it could be 45. I really don't know. So yeah, let's be going through different tracks of mine. We'll probably go through most of the Visionary album. I might do one of these every week or one every 2 weeks. I don't know. I'm not going to put a time frame on it. This might be the only one that you ever see. We're just going to see what people think of this. Certain tracks, if I do decide to do, I might have some behind the scenes footage as well. And so I just want to be able to break down the lyrical meaning, break down some of the bars, kind of what headspace I was in when I was writing certain tracks. And yeah, we're going to be doing this today with the intro to my most recent album, Visionary. So Point of View 4. So for a bit of context, you have Point of View as a whole. So why is it Point of View 4? Well, we started off with Point of View back in God knows when. That's a good point, actually. Let's do some research. Okay, so my original Point of View dropped August 14th, 2016. So that is, yeah, pretty much 3 years before I dropped Point of View 4. Point of View was basically me getting pissed off with a bunch of people. Some people as individuals and some people as a group / a stereotype. And it's basically me just getting angry at the world, innit? At the time also, it was the first like grime track I did. And so it was me flexing my pen as hard as I possibly could. And I remember that it was the first track of mine that got any real attention outside of just friends and people that were just following my stuff just because they knew me. You know, it was like random people started to comment on it, and a couple people follow me on social media because of it. And so it was my first little taste of, oh my god, my music's actually getting out there to a wider audience. And so yeah, Point of View was a big breakthrough because of that reason. And so kind of bouncing off that success is when I went into Point of View 2, which then dropped February 19th, 2017. So we're looking, what, 6 months or so later? And this instrumental is just, first off, the instrumental to this, shout out Dot Rotten, Zeph Ellis, because he fucking killed this beat. And yeah, this was when I was also putting the names of the instrumentals into the title of the thing to kind of boost my views up just a little bit. I can't lie, that was trash, but it also let people know what the instrumental was. That was the primary reason I did it in the first place. And then I see the benefit of putting a title in it afterwards, I'll be honest. And so yeah, it didn't get as much attention as the original Point of View, but I preferred it way more, and it had such a legendary bar in it.
So you claim that I love my ex, well you don't know this chapter. Man calls her a round of applause, cause she's fully clapped her.
And so yeah, that was like the first quotable lyric I really got. And so whenever I was freestyling, whenever I was doing anything really, I'd always bring that lyric out, and people would be like, ah, and then like it was the first bar that people would actually sing along with. And so yeah, man, that was such a sick feeling to have. But again, similar theme, it was going at a couple of exes, it was going at a couple of friends that were pagans, it was going at certain stereotypes that I still didn't like. And so again, it was like, right, look at where we are in Point of View 1. Now look at where we are at Point of View 2. Can you see the progression? And I believe you can. In just 6 months, you can see I was leveling up as time went on. Then we have Point of View 3, which dropped March 31st, 2018. So then we're looking at what? Like over a year later. And this was the first music video I dropped. Technically, it's my second because I did a video for a song called Back to Back with Spyro. And I did that before this. I think that was 2017. So Point of View 3 was my first video on my channel anyway that I was in. We had no clue what we was doing. We literally just took an iPhone. We took my man's iPhone and was just like, right, where should we go to film today? And we just went like central London. The opening shot on the fucking video is St. Paul's Cathedral. Like, there was no structure to this video in any way, shape or form. Like, man went out to Essex with my boy Jake. He filmed a bit of it, and just, it was a shit show. There was no direction on this video at all. Man was out here in a Rascal hoodie and a pair of jeans, like just trying to spit my bars. It's not the greatest video. Again, shout out Strife actually, who was my boy Jake's friend back in college. And yeah, he was just like, yeah, I'll edit for you. And I was just like, yeah, sick. And looking at it now, like, he did a couple cool things with it, but it just could be better, right? It just could be. As a song, though, I feel like it was a step up from Point of View 2, but it wasn't as big of a jump as Point of View 1 to 2 was. 1 to 2 was a huge jump, and then 2 to 3, there was a jump, but I don't know. I think Point of View 2 also holds an element of nostalgia for me, so whereas Point of View 3 doesn't as much. So yeah, Point of View 3 still is a step up, but it isn't miles beyond it in my opinion. And this also released just before I started reacting to the Aussie content, so by the time that this was out, a month or two, that's when all of you man started coming over. So this was like the first thing that a lot of you guys were seeing, if you was here from early doors. And looking back at it, I wasn't at the level I'm at now. And I mean, I think 95% of artists are going to be saying things like that from a year, nearly 2 years on from where they're talking about. But yeah, nearly 2 years on from this now, what, 20 months ahead from where we are now? Not even. 23 months. I could do maths. 23 months on from where we are now, nearly 2 years on from Point of View 3. There is just such a massive gap. But we're not here to break down Point of View 1, 2, or 3. We're here to break down Point of View 4. But I feel like that was important information, important backstory and backdrop to why I did Point of View. So Point of View 4 released August 22nd, 2019. And the album dropped the very next day, August 23rd. So, yeah, Point of View 4. Because Point of View 2 to Point of View 3 wasn't the biggest jump in the world, I really wanted to nail Point of View 4. Like, in my head, I was like, right, you have to get this right. You have to get this right. And the interesting thing is Point of View 4 took me 10 months to write, which is quite insane, because you take something like my fucking old remix and that took me 20 minutes. So 20 minutes versus 10 months. That is literally my writing process. But it's because I cared about it to a T. I cared about this freestyle line for line. I wanted it to hold its weight in gold bar for bar. And so I overthought this song. I did. So many times I overthought this. If we took my first ever draft, I wish I could keep my first ever draft. Sometimes I write down on paper, but most of the time I'm writing down on OneNote, and so I'm tweaking things. And it's because I write things down and then I change it and then I reword sentences. I used to write down on paper, but I did too much scribbling out and rewriting. It was just a waste of paper. So I was just like, let me just type everything up, because honestly it's just easier that way for me, for the way I write anyway. And so I wish I could have my first ever draft, because it would probably look completely different to what it is now. But I actually opened up this OneNote file in September 17th, and I literally, the only thing that has stayed the same is the opening 4 lines.
You wanna talk a big man's talk, but you can't walk in a big man's shoes. You claim you're a big man drill, but all I see is a small man's screw.
That was literally what I opened out as, and I didn't know where to lead from there. I've also got to mention something I think most people could assume if you knew of this UK artist, but I took a lot of inspiration from Gets. And when I first did it, I also spit it like Gets, and that was a problem for me, because I don't mind being inspired by other artists, but I don't ever want to copy another artist. And so I had to, yeah, for a while work on making this as original as possible, while still using that motivation and that inspiration from other artists. You know, I wanted to use the energy of a Chip, use the energy of a Gets, but not emulate them, not copy them, still keep it original to me. And this is a flow that I'm still playing around with, and you will hear more of this kind of flow. And so, yeah, I mean, if we get into the lyrical breakdown side of things, so
you wanna talk a big man's talk, but you can't walk in a big man's shoes.
Unless you've walked a mile in my shoes, don't say shit about me. And it's like, people want to talk a big man's talk, but they ain't walked a mile in a big man's shoes, in a grown man's shoes. Like, I feel like that's such an impactful and powerful statement to open up on, but yeah.
You claim you're a big man driller, but all I see is a small man's screw.
People are claiming that they're out here doing drillings. All I'm seeing is a little fish in the pond just screwing his face. Like, there's people claiming to be on big shit, and you're just in the background of the video screwing your face up. Like, shut up.
Stop pulling that face, you look like you're sulking. You don't look so trim nowadays, but I bet you claim that you're bulking.
So stop pulling that face, obviously relating into the screw. Like, stop screwing up your face. You look like you're sulking. You don't look hard. You just look like you're throwing a tantrum, big man. You don't look so trim nowadays, but I bet you claim that you're bulking. So you don't look so, like, if someone's trim, obviously, like, they've shred a lot of fat off and it's just pure muscle. You don't look so trim nowadays. You used to hit gym. I don't think you're hitting gym anymore. I think you're getting lazy. But I bet you claim that you're bulking. So the process of bulking is when you eat a shitload of food and you put on some fat, because it's easier to turn fat into muscle than it is to build muscle from scratch. So I feel like people are claiming that they're out here bulking when they're eating the chicken shop. What? They're not. They're just getting lazy with it. And I'm not going to say shit. I'm not the biggest guy in the world. But, you know, this is just me talking my shit. This is the whole point in Point of View 4. It's just me inherently talking my shit. So, yeah.
Shallow. You've never been to the deep end.
I really like the pacing on this. Being able to just allow that space, allow that instrumental to breathe. But I bet you claim that you're bulking. Shallow. You've never been to the deep end. It's just allowing those pauses in between, having very clear clarity, being able for the listener to understand it easier. Shallow, you've never been to the deep end. You're in the shallow end of the pool. You ain't been swimming with the big fishes. You're still that little fish in the pond.
How can you be top of the game when you can't put work in on the weekends? Weekdays.
How can you be top of the game if you're not putting in the work on the weekend? You know, you see people like, yeah, I'm gonna be the best in this shit, but you're going out 3 nights in a row on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and it's like, that's cool, there's nothing wrong with that. But how do you expect to be top of your game if you're only putting in 4 days of work a week? You know what I mean? Like, if you want to be the best in the world at something, you gotta be working on this shit 7 days round, innit? So
weekdays, still stronger than you on a weekday.
Obviously, like that whole on me at my worst, I'm better than you at your best. Like that generic angle, that generic punchline that's been put out many times, and I'm just hitting it from a different angle. That's all.
You wave your hands in the air, not moving your feet. I call that Nintendo Wii Play.
And so what that is people that stand in the back. You're doing your gum fingers. You're throwing up your gang signs. But you're not moving anywhere, big man. You're staying where you are. It's not a case of we move. No, darling. You staying over there. And that's that, really. And obviously, Nintendo Wii, like, obviously, you had the remote. You don't even have to move. You can play the Nintendo Wii, like, the tennis game or something, sitting down, just waving your hand in the back. You ain't moving your feet. You're just waving hand gestures. Same way as progressing forward. You're not progressing anywhere. You're just making yourself look big. You're making it look like you're doing big things. You're doing theatrics, but you're not actually taking a step forward in your career. You're just throwing your hands about, big man.
Listen to what we say. Plan B, listen to what she said.
So, look, listen to what we say. Your plan B is to just always listen to what this gal says. But this gal is a pagan, bruv. And that links into the story of Plan B, She Said. If you are familiar, there is a UK artist called Plan B. One of his hit singles was She Said. Said I love you, boy, I love you so.
Plan B, listen to what she said. That's no skin off my back, but a snake in the grass, the skin that she shed. Knife for the back and we bled.
This all ties into each other. So listen to what we say. Listen to what the man them say. Your plan B is to listen to what she said. She's the gal them. That's the new name. Little gal them over there, right? Problem is, some of the gal them, they're snakes. They're snakes in the grass, and we didn't realize this until she shed her skin. That's no skin off of my back, because I'm with the man them. But because you listen to the snakes, that's skin off of your back as well. You're shedding skin together then.
Knife for the back and we bled. Pull that knife for the front, that's gone, he fled.
Then there's man who bring that knife to the front, and that's it. He's gone, he fled. So it's out here like, look, if you get backstabbed, don't expect man to not retaliate. Pull that knife out of their own back and chase you down with their own knife, bruv. Because that is all of the fuel they need. If you leave the knife in someone's back, they are going to take that knife and they are going to retaliate to you, big man. And so that ties in a story that I can't really go into, but I know a story of someone who should have listened to his boys. He's listening to the gal, and then he got set up and he was put in a difficult situation. So that was my poetic way of putting that all together, basically.
10 toes, man has a crease in his trainer. Swing your fist in a shank fight first. Blood, that's a no-brainer.
It's funny how when I write this, it's different to how I perform it sometimes. So you might notice that this is my notebook that I read off of when I was performing this, or that I rehearsed from. When I go into the studio, I do my best not to read off on my phone, but it's interesting to see how I didn't add the blood in there in terms of writing, but when I performed it, that's what I ended up saying. So either way, 10 toes, man has a crease in his trainer. So you're getting chased down with knives. So now you've got the crease in your trainer. You are running. Swing your fists in a shank fight, first blood. That's a no-brainer. And that links into a personal story of mine, but it's like, look.
Is your name Max on the way with a 145, get a stand up bang? Is your name Kanan with 145, get a stand up bang?
Listen, the first real punchline that's in here, that's outside of just performance. Max Holloway, UFC living legend at the moment, has been fighting at featherweight at 145-pound divisions, and Max Holloway has a famous moment where he points down to the ground. I think it's in round 3 or round 5, either way, it's the last round of the fight, and he points down to the ground and he's like, let's just stand and bang. And like for the last like 15 seconds they just stand there, just left and right, swinging it out. But then also, is your name Kanan with a 145, can you stand and bang? Obviously with a 4-5, can you stand there and bang? Kanan referencing a character in Power played by 50 Cent. And so obviously both standing and banging, whether you're Kanan's and you're shooting, or whether you're Max Holloway's and you're out here trying to scrap with your fists.
Calm. If you have food in the box like Cheerios.
I don't know if you in Australia have Cheerios. I'm pretty sure you do, but either way, it's a cereal. Food in a box, cereal, Cheerios, pretty basic.
Too much work you're putting in joints like physios.
Obviously, physiotherapist, physio massage, you know you're working out the joints. But also, there's people who smoke too much weed. And where they're smoking too much weed, they're putting too much work into them joints. They're smoking too much.
How do you pull that face in a thumbnail when you didn't even pull that face in a video?
This is probably my favorite line out of the whole track, because this subtly acts a lot of people, and it wasn't specifically one person. It's kind of just a stereotype in general. But I remember watching a reaction video, and I won't say who because honestly I don't think I'll be able to remember off the top of my head, but they've pulled this face in the thumbnail, but not once in the video did they pull that face. And it's like, how can you be a reaction channel and promote you reacting mad when the whole video you sit there and like that? No, that doesn't make sense in my head. Like, in my thumbnails on my channel, you obviously 9 times out of 10 you see the screw face, don't you? And that's because I take a screenshot from the actual reaction. Any thumbnail that you see from me, you will see that exact screenshot in the video at some point. You just will. Okay? I believe that's how it should be done. Obviously, easy for me to say because that's what I do. But I don't believe people should pull faces that you don't actually pull in the video. Like, that doesn't make sense. That's clickbait thumbnails.
I won't say no names. Let's just bank on who's accountable. They say 100, but I doubt them all.
So I won't say no names about who's doing the thumbnail thing, as I said. Let's just bank on who's accountable. So obviously, we're just going to see who's going to be accountable for that in the future. Not that I think anyone will, but obviously, accountants, accounts, a light bit of wordplay. That's not meant to be crazy. They say 100, but I doubt them all. All of these men putting the 100 emoji in their videos and on their social medias, and I doubt a lot of these men, because if you're not pulling the right face in your thumbnail, how can you be 100? You've not kept it 100 in a fucking thumbnail, big man, let alone your video. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
Could have distract a lot, but I'll allow them all.
Yeah, you know, there's no point in me diss tracking a bunch of men who don't do music. There's just no point, which is very, very hypocritical, by the way, because this whole thing is like one giant diss track to just the world. And 90% of the people that I go at aren't people who do music in this, you know, or even a stereotype. So, you know, I am contradicting myself there, and that is one criticism that, looking back on it, that is a criticism that I have of mine. You know, I'm always digging other artists out for doing it, and then I realized that no, I contradict myself in my music sometimes. So that's something that, as I go forward with my music, I'm going to do my best not to do so. I don't feel like there's wrong in contradicting yourself in different songs, because sometimes you fit different moods, or sometimes you posture to a certain story. But in this, if you contradict yourself in the same song or the same verse, I believe that's wrong to do. So I am contradicting myself in some ways there, but you can see where I'm coming from.
Cokeheads got white piles, shovel up noses like snow piles. Yeah, they wanna take shots without a picture on their profiles.
There's nothing wrong with sniffing. Like, if you go sniff, that's you in it. That's not for me, big man. That's not for me. But if you do so, so be it, you know? But there's certain man that go way overboard with it. They are a fucking fiend for it. And so if people do that, I always say to people, if you do that, you should go do that in your own space, in your own time. If we're at a house party and you're doing it, cool, that's it. But there's certain man that are just fucking obsessed with the shit. Like, they're out here like, you wanna come sniff a line with me? And I'm like, no, I'm good, big man. And they're like, why do you? Like, I've had man like literally have a go at man because I don't sniff. And I'm like, big man, just because I'm not a fucking sniff head, like, doesn't stop you, big man. You go do you. Like, I'm not against it. You go do you. But just when you offer me some and I say no, just respect that. And so that's where that lyric come from. I was just pissed off with with a man one night.
Yeah, they wanna take shots without a picture on their profiles.
There are bare internet eggs here. Bare internet eggs. What do I mean by that? People that are atting, man. People that are chatting shit in the comment section, in the DM, whatever it is. Or being like, you're ugly. Or some shit. Cool. Fair enough. You don't think I'm a good looking guy? That's fine. I'm okay with that. But you ain't even got a profile picture up, big man. You got the fucking Twitter egg. Or you just got the YouTube profile icon thing. Like, listen, until you have your profile picture up, don't at me about mine.
What? Forgot that I could bar out. What? Watch me show and bar now.
Listen, just because I'm a guy that reacts to tracks, people forget that I can bar the fuck out. People forget this, yeah? They get caught up in the reactions and the normal videos I make. People forget the fuck that I can bar the fuck out. Obviously, me doing YouTube, people just see me as the YouTube guy, the reaction guy sometimes. But don't forget that I can bar the fuck out. Watch me show and bar now. Like, I'm barring right now as we speak.
Now let me cut deep, see what I carve out. Let me in, watch, see what I start now.
You want me to go at you, I will cut deep and watch what I will carve out of your fucking career. Understand this. Let me in. Let me into the room. Let me clash you and see what I start now. Like, that is the belief that I have in myself.
Hands up, class time, don't call out. Stand up, last time, don't all shout. Banged up, lifetime, can't call out. Hang up, past time, can't call now.
This is the only bit of the song that I actually fuck up when performing. I always get this bit muddled up for some reason. Like, I need to get this shit like tattooed on my forehead or some shit, bro, because I always get this bit muddled up. But hands up, class time, don't call out. It's like being at school, innit? Don't call out, put your hand up, big man. Stand up, last time, don't all shout. To be fair, that was a filler line. That was just to fit the multi. There was no real reason for that one, to be fair. I think I've written the first, the third, and the fourth bar, and I've written the second one last, admittedly. Banged up, lifetime, can't crawl out. People getting banged up for a lifetime in prison. You can't crawl out of that shit. Hang up, pastime, can't crawl now. Like, she hung up on you. Fuck you, innit? And again, if that's a criticism on myself, it doesn't have any real meaning. None of that really ties into each other than just sounding cool as a unique flow. So, again, that bit could be better. And then we get into this bit where it just tones down in the song.
Landscaping perspective to see what man's shaping.
Landscaping this thing. Like, I am part of the Australian scene becoming an international, growing to an international audience. And so, from whatever perspective, whether it be through the podcast, whether it be through the reactions, whether it be through the music itself, like, people are going to start seeing what a man's starting to help mold and shape. I'm not saying I'm doing it by myself, in no way. I'm not saying I'm the first one to do it either. I have a lot of people tell me I'm the first to do it. I'm not here to pronounce that. What I am here to say is I know for a fact that I am making a small difference in this thing.
Not interface smiles and handshaking, fiction talk and knees on translating.
Look, there's a lot of people that fake smile up in your face and they want to shake hands and they want to spudge and be like, whoa, go on, my guy, and it's fake. Like, it's fiction talk, fiction being fake talk. I need some translating for these, man, because I don't understand how you can talk that much shit.
I'm paving, watch what I give, hear what I'm playing.
Now that is a very interesting bar, because like, am I paving the way for other people to start reacting to the Oz scene on a regular basis? Because there's a bag of man, and I'm not hating on no one, there's a bag of man that are reacting and doing the UK reactions, and then they'll take the most popular Aussie tracks and react to that. And that's the lane that I could have been in, but I've decided to go exclusively to the Australian scene by now. And so, you know, you watch what I'm giving. You are watching the information that I'm giving you, but you hear what I'm hearing as well. You're hearing exactly the same thing as me, but you're here to watch for the information that I give you.
Talk my shit and see who's debating, break it down and see who's degrading.
I'm just talking my shit, innit? And I'll have a debate on who I think is the best, who I think needs improving, etc, etc. I'll break it down. And I'm going to see who's falling apart in this thing. Because there's certain men who can't hold it up for their career. And that's kind of a shot at just people who just can't keep it up no more. Like, big man, you're in your 40s. Stop talking gang shit. Go home. Take care of your youth or something.
You men are baiting, fed up of waiting, fed up I hate him, chin up away him, never your mating, all where you're mating, arms in a flaking, legs that are breaking, pad for the training, mind for the taking, light for the blazing, 99 pacing, minds that you're plaguing, says she was naked, your guard is vacant, don't lie.
So there's a lot to go through here, and again, it's another one that's purposely written for the flow, and because of it, it ends up with 1 or 2 filler lines in here. But you men are baiting, you men are just too bait, you men are just too obvious of everything you do. I'm fed up of waiting, I'm fed up I hate him, chin up I'll weigh him. If you weigh someone in, you knock someone out. Obviously, big man like me, obviously I'm weighing someone in, aren't I? I should have rearranged those lines. I should have done up, chin up I'll weigh him, I'll weigh your mating, never your mating. But either way, never your mating. You ain't out here beating chicks. You ain't out here having sex. You ain't getting no one, big man. I'll weigh your mating. Arms in there flaking, legs out, I'll break him. Pads for the training, mind for the taking, light for the blazing doesn't make any sense. 99 pacing, referencing like a FIFA statistic. If you have 99 pace, you're the fastest player in the game. Minds that you're plaguing, said she was naked, your yard is vacant, don't lie. So I kind of mix up the themes here. I should have done the never your mating, probably in with said she was naked, your yard is vacant, don't lie. It's just basically a lot of men that are just lying. Listen, that needs improving. That's the honest truth. I'm looking at this track 6 months on from when I finished it, and I need to improve it.
Maybe that's more stupid than brave, but I've seen big man intimidated and cave.
Like, with that one, it's just, I've seen real big man, or so I thought at least anyway. And they've been put in a sticky situation, and them man have caved in, innit? They just have. Like, they can't handle this thing. They're not really out here. And just for clarification, I'm not saying I'm out here either. I'm just saying I've seen what I thought to be real big man in this thing. They ain't nothing. And then this next line I love.
If certain artists collab, the product would be so timeless. Instead, they want to charge an MC a fee like an antivirus.
There are certain artists that if they collabed, they would easily be breaking millions of views. They would be pushing culture forward. They'd be doing massive things. But it's ruined because MCs want to charge a fee for the feature, even though somebody might help them with exposure. And there's certain man I know that won't collab unless they're paid. And it's like, fuck the payment, man. Do you know how much you will grow as a fucking artist if you drop this track and if you do this as a mutual thing for free? Obviously, the bit of wordplay in here is McAfee is like an antivirus software that you get on PC. MCAfee, like the antivirus. Like, they want to charge an MC a fee like that, and like, listen, that's a bar. Don't tell me that's not a bar.
Some of you so-called artists, you pop your champagne for clout.
Some of these artists, they're just popping champagne for clout. They're not popping a champers because they want to drink it. They're doing it for the social media. They're doing it for the music video, etc, etc. That's nothing new. Preaching the truth, but your today's deals Amazon watch don't really shout. Your watch is from the today's deals on the lightning deals on Amazon, bruv. You ain't even got a legit watch. Like, get the fuck out of it, bruv.
Preaching the truth, but your today's deals Amazon watch don't really shout. Young man, grow up. The baby see why I doubt. They cry for the bottle to be put in their fucking mouth.
So it's actually different how I perform it to what is written here. Here it says, young man, you need to grow up. The baby see why I doubt. Sometimes I get into the studio and on the day, because of just breathing, obviously where I'm actually delivering it the way it should be, when I practice it, sometimes my breathing's different because I'm sat down, I'm nice and calm, whereas when I'm in studio, I'm like bouncing around, I'm getting all hype and whatnot. So sometimes my breathing's a bit off, so sometimes it changes from what I write on the notepad to what I actually deliver. Sometimes it just rolls off my tongue differently, and I don't intend for it to be like that, but it sounds better. So these men are babies. They're crying for a bottle to be put in their fucking mouth, innit? Like, certain people here are moving like alcoholics, and I'm not going at alcoholics, I'm going at these artists that are complaining because they ain't got the most expensive bottle from the top shelf for their social media. Again, it's that whole social media thing. It's like, just be organic, just be you, big man. Why are you crying like a baby for the most expensive bottle to be put in your mouth for you. Like, no, just have a good time.
Vision when I got my long range passes on. I see what you're doing and your class is gone. How are you so one dimensional when I got my 3D glasses on?
This is probably my second favorite bar. This is probably my favorite bar to deliver because it is nearly a wheel up every single time. Vision when I got my long range passes on. If I'm going to ping it 45 yards, I got my vision on. I see what you're doing and your class is gone. There are certain man, I see what you're putting out and I think your touch of class is gone. You've lost it, big man. You're not in your prime no more. How are you so one-dimensional when I got my 3D glasses on? How are you so... If someone's one-dimensional, it's very easy to read and see what they're doing. You know, you can read through someone, and I can read through people, especially when I got my 3D glasses on. These men are one-dimensional. I'm out here moving 3D. My vision, my long-range passes are switched on, my guy. Listen, that, I love that bar.
You only act bad when your mask is on, and you don't want to know where his mark is from. She's calling and you're jarring. It's the same story as that barking song.
That's referencing Rams, UK artist Rams, who put out a hit viral song called Barking. He doesn't say she's calling and you're jarring side by side, but I kind of just cherry picked the bits that I like, and it's just like, yeah, it's just a little reference there for the UK listeners.
When I call you can't pick up the phone, but post on gram real colours are shown. Wanna be a bitch, go pick up your phone.
Look, there's certain man that can't pick up the phone, but they're out here on Instagram like doing a madness, and it's just like, all right, that's fine. I just see where I lie, big man. You can't answer my phone call or my text message, but you can sit there on social media all day saying you're bored. That's fine. Go do you, big man. So if you want to be a dog, go pick up that bone. Like, there's certain man who can't pick up the phone, but they're out here moving with their new link, and that's fine. That was kind of a hit at someone because I was chatting with someone. They blew me out for some other guy. I'll be real. I was just hurt by that, so I was just like, look, if you want to be a bitch, yeah, go get that bone. Go get bone. Like, yeah, you see where I'm coming from with that one?
Wanna fit in, go pick out your clone. Chat shit on Fred, who stitch out your dome.
You man are just acting like clones of each other. There's too many people trying to be like each other to try and fit in. So you're just clones of each other. And chatting shit on a thread, pull stitch out your dome. People are on threads, whether it be YouTube, Instagram, like on a message or comment thread. And they're chatting shit, so I'm gonna pull stitch out of your dome. Thread stitches out. Yeah, you get the idea.
When you're talking to me, you best switch up your tone.
When you talk to me, don't talk down to me, big man. Like, just don't do it, because I'm not out here saying I'm the biggest guy, but don't talk to me like a piece of shit, because I'm not gonna have it out with you if you talk to me like dirt. It's just not happening.
You said don't forget me if I'm famous, but never message or call my digits. When I perform my first London show, I'll send you a link to the tickets.
Do you know how many people say this to me? Don't forget me when you're famous, or when you become rich, don't forget about me. And it's like, you don't talk to me on a regular basis, big man. We haven't spoke since school. Why are you trying to hit me up now? It's interesting that you're only trying to hit me up now that you see the things looking nice. Or people are like, yeah, man, I see what you're doing. You're doing so well. And it's like, you don't even know what a man does. Like, listen, just get out of here. And so that leads into the next bar. When I perform my first London show, I'll just send you a link to the tickets. Now, I've performed here, but I mean, when I do my first, like, headline show, like my show, not just an open mic thing, not just a shared event thing, when it's my show, that's when all I'm gonna do for all of those people, yeah, I'm just gonna send a link to the tickets. I'm not gonna say no more to that. That's how you can catch up with me when I'm rich and famous, should you say. Yeah, that is gonna be my flex of the fucking year when that happens.
Too high pitch, squeak you rebel. You sound way too much like treble. How can you act like a boss tutorial, man? You ain't on my level.
So again, this is performed different to what it's actually read. I was meant to say too high pitch, squeak you rebel, but I remember I kept tripping over my words, so I just ended up saying too high pitch, squeak you rebel. You sound way too much like treble. You have treble and bass. Bass are the low end frequencies. Treble is the high end frequencies. How can you act like a boss tutorial, man? You ain't on my level. You're stuck on a tutorial. You haven't even got into this thing yet. Yet you want to act like a boss, man. You want to act like a boss level. No, you're just a tutorial. Not saying I'm a boss either, but you're not on the level that I'm on. I'm progressing up the levels. You're not a boss. You're on the tutorial. And so, yeah, that's my breakdown to point of view 4. So, yeah, Fuck, you know, we are closing in on 45 minutes as well. By the time I edit in some of the clips from the actual video as well, this could be mad long. If you want me to do anything like this again, let me know. Let me know what song you would like me to break down. Obviously, I feel like this could be a good way of showing, you know, my behind the scenes footage as well. This is probably going to be one of the longest ones I do, just because it is a bars. Like, this is probably the longest episode you'll see. If I was to do something like Tom and Jerry, I think it would be a lot shorter. But then again, you never know. You never know. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you want to see more of this, let me know. I don't often ask for likes, but can you please like this video, just because of the effort that it does take to make this video. I know this is going to take, it's going to be a bitch to edit. I can already tell. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. If you did watch the entire thing, let me know down in the comment section. Was this something that you like to just listen to in the back? Is this something that you attentively watched? Did you learn something new here? Did you already know the bars? Is this just trash and you just don't want to see it? Just give me a bit of feedback on this. I just want to touch the water here. I just want to dip my toes in the water and just get a feel for what people think of this. But yeah, appreciate you guys for watching anyway. And yeah, I'll talk to you, man, later.